Supposedly we've got a guest coming up, and is that still going to happen, Fez?
Yep, that's still happening in just a little bit.
This is someone that we did not know was coming to do the show at all, but it is the Long Island medium, Theresa Caputo.
Caputo, yes.
Caputo. And I actually know somebody who's been trying to fucking get in to see her. Now, the booking department did not tell us. They believe us to be psychics rather than the guest. This is too bad for you, Fez, because we could have tried to get your dad in, but the fact is, you are an atheist now.
Yeah, I don't believe that my dad still exists somewhere to be able to talk to this lady.
And that is all because of Penn Jillette.
Right, yeah, from his unmasked and his explaining being an atheist and talking about losing his mother. Yeah, because I was having trouble feeling a connection with my father after he died anyway.
That's just not true. You told us that he was leaving coins behind for you. You were as connected as anyone. And when I told you that a dollar blew up the street at me, you called your whole family to tell them the great news as if I had gotten a telegraph.
Well, that was just crazy grief talking.
Well, so don't act like you didn't think that you had a connection, because you did. You just forgot about it now. But that went on for a long time until an unmasked Penn Jillette, and then you became an atheist. Unscreen, and that's coming up in about 15 minutes. All right, we do have the medium ready to go?
Yes, Theresa Caputo.
Theresa Caputo. Now, she is the Long Island medium. She's got a brand new show on TLC. It is brand new, correct?
They just started the second season.
Okay, see, I didn't even know that. Sundays at 9 o'clock. The Twitter is at Theresa Caputo, and you can check her out at teresacaputo.com. We'll bring her in now. She is the Long Island medium, and she can speak with the deceased.
Chased the clue, he was 12 years old. Fell from the roof on East 29. Kathy was 11 when she pulled the plug. 26 reds and a bottle of wine. Bobby got leukemia, 14 years old. He looked like 65 when he died. He was a friend of mine. Those are people who died. Those are people who died. Those are people who died. Those are people who died.
My favorite thing, live radio.
Welcome, Teresa. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I was just telling the audience that I've had a friend who's been wanting to see you for years and can't even get close. You have so many clients, right?
You're kidding.
Yeah. Somebody who had lost somebody in their family, and they'd always, and that's where I first heard about you.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, before I started doing Long Island Medium, which was only for the past year, I had a 2-year waiting list before the show aired.
Yeah, and that exactly, it was a 2-year waiting list, and this is before the show, and now I guess...
I just have a list.
Yeah, you just have a list, no one even knows.
Yeah, because I don't know what's going on, so...
So how did you get into this type of thing to do?
Mediumship?
Yeah.
I had suffered many years from anxieties, and nothing was working. Went to many doctors, and they're like, there's nothing wrong with you. I'm like, there's something wrong with me. I'm not normal. There's something wrong. And I had gone to a spiritual healer, and through that, she immediately told me that spirit was trying to communicate with me. That's why my anxiety was coming in. Because they were coming in, and I wasn't able to channel and release them.
Right.
So it was causing panic attacks. So what I learned was how to understand what they were showing me, what their symbols and signs meant. And because I feel spirit, that's where the frightening part came in. Because like if somebody passed from the chest, like somebody must have passed from the chest because they just labored my breathing. I felt like I couldn't breathe. And so there was also someone also passed from something of either a blunt to the head or something of the head. So, imagine being in the store and that happening to you, not knowing that spirit's trying to communicate with you.
So you felt immediately in your chest?
Yep.
Or you just did now, because I see you writing stuff down.
Yeah, because I just lost my breath.
Yeah.
Do you know somebody that lost a child? Or is there someone in that other room? Is there someone?
No, I don't know anybody that lost a child.
Oh, okay. They had me write dad, and then they had me write child.
Well, Fez has lost his father.
Is that why I looked in that room over there? I don't even know who that is.
No, I'm going to tell you that's Fez, and we've actually talked about this before you got here. Fez was a person that he lost his father, took it tremendously bad about a year ago. Then what happened was he would get things that he thought were signs, little things that were left behind. But since that point, he became an atheist. Actually, after seeing Penn Jillette do an interview with me, Penn Jillette is an atheist. And after hearing Penn talk, he went from being a person who thought he was getting signs from his father.
Oh, that's terrible.
You think that
that's very sad.
Yeah.
Look, I read with the respect of, I believe I have a beautiful gift from God. I mean, I literally was talking to you. You saw what I wrote. You said you're writing something. I don't even know who he is. I looked over there. I said, who lost the father? I'm staring right at him.
Right.
Did your dad have coins? Do you connect with the coins? Or is there something about a coin collection?
Yeah, my dad, had things with coins.
Look, you saw that's what I wrote. I wrote it.
Have coins.
That's what I wrote. Look, you can believe whatever you want, but what saddens me is that you lost your faith or you lost. So, that is one thing that I absolutely love about doing Long Island Medium because just having my little business, it was great. I touched many lives, healed many people or spirit. Their loved ones have healed them. This is the thing that I love about TLC is that the show is able to bring people peace, comfort, and also faith of knowing that there is more to life than just here in the physical world. To be honest with you, with no disrespect, I didn't even know that because she goes, oh yeah, we're going to meet this, Ronnie. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Before I walked in there, like Ron and Fez, I'm like, holy shit, they're famous. And I don't even know what you look like. I didn't even know that was him. I didn't know you guys sat in different rooms. What do I know about radio? What, you think I'm psychic or something there, Fez?
Why don't you come in here, Fez?
Okay.
Why don't you come in and maybe she can pick up.
Is his mom still here in the physical world?
Yeah, his mom's still in the physical world.
Look, you have to understand, all I want, this is not, should we wait for him to come in? Or, okay.
But his family is very, very faithful, and Fez always was.
That's fine.
Up until this point. But just hearing Penn Jillette.
I don't even know who that is. Look,
Penn and Teller, you're familiar with the magicians?
Yes,
well, Penn is kind of a famous atheist. And he was doing an interview with me, and he was discussing his atheism. And Fez, although I see that you're all watered up now, Fez, you're like...
Yeah, look, you have to understand. I believe, and I don't have to share this with you, but I'm going to choose to share. I mean, I'm Catholic. I'm a practicing Catholic. And I believe I have been blessed and have the most amazing and beautiful gift from God because I believe this was my soul's journey here to do this. I don't believe that it is me. I am just the vessel that is allowed spirit to channel through me. The only thing that I will take credit for is the way that I allow them to channel. I always want spirit to communicate with that personality and with laughter again because I believe that sometimes people leave the world in a tragic way. And we might feel that they are not at peace. And what better way to validate that your loved ones are safe and at peace and that there's more to life in the physical world, but to bring up certain things. That is all I ask. I am not asking, I will never defend or try to prove what I do. I'm not here to make you a believer in God. Whatever your beliefs are, that's fine. But how many people have come to a session and they had lost faith? And I will share this with you. And I usually don't share stories of my clients, but very recently I had a woman that came to the house with her daughter. She lost her son. And all of a sudden I said to her, I said, call me crazy. I said, but I swear to you, I feel God's presence here in this room. And he is giving you permission to be angry with him because you have lost your faith. And he says, I just want you to know that I have your most precious gift safe with us on the other side, and I want you to return to your faith. You can be angry with me all you want. I found out after the reading that prior to her son's tragic passing, she was a woman that volunteered at her church, gave to the community, and because of the passing of her son, she became very bitter and angry with God. Now, who would know that? Who would know that? I'm not, so... Take it for what I'm not asking you to believe in God, but all you need to know is that your father is here.
He feels
present.
gone to me. Like when we cremated him, that was it.
Of his physical body. His soul, and I don't mean to sound corny, lives forever. That is a bond that you cannot break, whether you like it or not, want to believe it or not. That is a bond that you cannot break. Can I ask you this? Did you do more than one thing with your dad's cremains? Did you separate them,
no.
spread them?
No.
What did you do with them?
We buried them.
You
We
did
interred
something
them.
with them. Okay. A lot of people carry the cremains. They
Right.
have the cremains. He told me that you did something with the cremains. You buried them? And your mom is still here in the physical world. Is that correct?
Yes.
Your father just took red roses and handed them to your mother, which is my symbol for he is just acknowledging your mom. My symbol for anniversary. It's love and devotion. So I don't know if it's their wedding anniversary or it is the anniversary of his passing. Was there a mass? Are you Catholic?
No, Lutheran.
Okay. So, all right. So same thing. In your faith, do you say a mass or do something in your faith, in memory of someone?
Well, we had a funeral service.
Besides that?
No, well, there was the dedication of his ashes.
Perfect. Because he's acknowledging that he attended that in spirit. So no one in my family's been cremated, so I wouldn't know how that goes or what you do or what you don't do. He wants to talk about the month of April, the number 4, or the 4th of any month. How do you connect with the month of April? Birthday, anniversary, I don't care whose it is.
There's family birthdays in April.
Perfect. Just acknowledging his presence and that he's here. Did you keep something of your dad's with his handwriting on it?
No, not with his handwriting
he tells
on it.
me yes. So
My mother had one anniversary. My mother he had handwritten my mother a poem.
Perfect. And she kept that?
She kept it, and it was stolen.
My God.
So it is.
Who would steal it?
She had her wallet stolen.
Oh, look. Hello. What did I write before
Wallet.
he said that?
Wallet.
What did I?
She has wallet written down.
Yeah. She had her wallet stolen, and the person that stole the wallet threw everything out, kept the credit cards, threw everything out, including that handwritten poem.
So validating that he knows what happened with that poem. And when they make me feel as if we have something and we no longer have it, does not want her to feel bad, but he knows what happened.
She just talked to me about that poem this past weekend.
Okay. Well, that's not a coincidence. I didn't even know I was coming to be on your show. And that is Spirit's way, what I always say, that they prepare for me being placed in someone's path. And my wish for anyone that is placed in my path that receives a message is that they receive the message that will give them the most healing to embrace life without their loved ones. Because I believe no matter whom you've lost here in the physical world, whether if it's a grandparent, an animal, your father, a child, you lost someone that you now have to continue with your life without. And that's hard. It stinks. And this doesn't make it easy, but maybe it'll just make it a little bit easier in knowing that your dad is still with you. That is it. I would never say this to someone, but I am just going to say this to you, that I wish when I leave here today, that is the one thing that you take with you, is that you just know that your father's soul hasn't left you. More importantly, did not leave your mother and the rest of the family, and that he will be there celebrating these things in spirit. And we'll just leave it at that. Fair enough?
He just feels really gone.
Well, what about
because
the
you
fact you
lost
wrote
me.
down wallet?
That's,
The wallet thing.
yeah. It's weird because we just had that conversation this weekend. And my mother, I didn't even know that story.
Right. Well, why does this mean anything to you that you saw the wallet thing written down?
I mean, you saw
the
me
fact
write
that you
before.
just had that,
Yeah,
and I
that's-
had never heard that your father even.
I never told that story.
I never knew that your father wrote a poem.
I didn't know it either. It was an anniversary when they were really young and didn't have money to exchange gifts. So she had that poem in her wallet for 40 years.
More than that, dude.
Yeah.
But your father was a bit of a comedian, though.
Yes, he
'Cause
was hysterical.
He goes, my son gets his humor from me.
It's true.
He goes,
Yeah.
my wife should know that poem by heart. She read it every day. He goes, why doesn't she just type it up and at least we still have the poem? So what I love about him is that he's showing that he has a sense of humor, that hasn't lost that, and saying, look, rewrite the poem.
Have you thought to say that to your mom? Just write it down. She knows the poem.
I hadn't thought of that, but yeah. I
right
know
there.
she did look at it,
But
a
this
lot.
is my thing for you also, is that validating for you that when you had that conversation with your mother, your dad's soul was with you. What other explanation is that? What other explanation is there that I would say to you? You have something with your dad's handwriting on it, and then I immediately write wallet. I was going to say
right.
to you, because you said no. He's telling me yes and had me write wallet.
Right.
So again, it's all about interpretation because my life experience is different than yours.
Is there a question that you have for your dad, Fez? Is there something that is there some reason that you're still holding on to this so hard? Here you were, this person that had such spirituality, and now all of it is gone?
Yeah.
Is there a reason for it? Why did you stop believing in the coins that he was leaving behind?
It felt silly. And it just didn't feel real.
So then look for something. Well, I think this wallet thing is real. Look.
That was real.
I mean, but the coin thing is, you can't find it in the bottom of your pocket or like, what about, let's just hypothetically say if you were folding towels and all of a sudden you pull out a towel and a dime falls out. Like,
right.
What is a dime? I mean, if you pull out jeans, you could see change falling out.
Yeah.
But towels, or you lift up a bag, or you go to sit down and there's a dime or a penny sitting on your seat. It's just his way of saying, I'm with you. You look at the clock and the numbers are all the same or something? Or the time is always the same?
Yeah.
Usually when I see like the number 11, because that's a very strong spiritual number.
You're getting that from me. I do that all the time.
Perfect. That's spirit getting your attention. It's not that your loved ones is the clock.
Mm-hmm.
It's their energy that is getting you to look at the clock at that exact moment. And so your father also says that he says, I know we wish there was more time. He says, but you feel that you wish that we had time to say goodbye.
Yeah.
He says that's what he had me write. Do you understand that? Wish that we could say goodbye. So please know that anything, now for your dad to acknowledge how you feel, that's your own personal thoughts, feelings, and emotions that nobody would know about. Validating that what you say to your father, nothing will ever be left unsaid. And know that, when you want to say something to him, he will hear you.
He got sick really quickly and was in and out of consciousness and
well, you sat with
gone.
him. He just showed me. He goes, but there was my son. He sat with me. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So please know that when your dad was unable to communicate with you, because he shows me you holding his hand.
Yeah.
And you speaking to him and you telling him that it is okay to let go. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Please know that is your dad's way of acknowledging that he knew that you were there, even though he could not respond to you. Did your dad always wear the same type of shirts? Because usually when they show me a flannel shirt, it's my symbol for either maybe it is a flannel or a plaid shirt, but more importantly, he only wore a specific type of shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your mom still kept some of his clothing? What's with the robe? I don't wear. You wear a robe? What's with the robe? I never saw that before. So
I don't know about the robe.
You can ask your mom.
But I do. Yeah, I still have he was visiting New York when he got sick, and I still have all of his clothes hanging up.
Okay. So it's his way of acknowledging that he knows that you kept his clothing, has no monetary value, but you still keep those things. Did your dad, who smoked? Or do you smell things that remind you of your father? There's no reason why you should smell it. Because what he did was show me cigarette smoke, and then I saw an Old Spice bottle. That's my symbol for two things. That you are maybe he did wear Old Spice, or more importantly, you are smelling things that you should not be smelling. There's no real reason for it. Like if all of a sudden we smell, no one's smoking, smell cigarette smoke, that's a form of communication. Oh, what's with the cars? Do you have a car?
No, I don't.
Okay, so did your dad, I'm like, what's with the cars? And your father went, and I'm like, well, you told me to say, so you don't have a car?
No.
He lives in the city.
Oh, well, usually when they show me 1957, it's my symbol for car.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Usually an old car or antiques car or something about a car. Again, just because that makes no sense to you doesn't mean that it's not correct. So I will share with you what my number 57s are. It means either the age of someone, could be the year 1957, or it could stand for months, the month of May and the month of June. But you would have to connect with both months as far as birthdays and or anniversaries.
My brother was born in May of 57.
Oh, okay.
Wow. So maybe a message for your brother.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Who also, by the way, took his car. Remember, he took your dad.
Oh, yeah.
So you're not being like, I feel like I have to do the work
Thanks,
here
Ron.
because he's not doing it. But when she said car, I thought of your brother.
Oh, yeah, my brother took
And
his car after
you
he
were
died.
upset about it.
Yeah.
well, that might be the extent when I said car, and he went like this. No,
Right. Don't bring it up.
Don't
It's
bring
in
that
trouble.
up. And I'm like,
Yeah.
listen,
Because it was a
I ain't
touchy
bringing up-
thing on who was going to get the car.
Perfect.
Do you
I
still
mean,
feel blocked? Because I'm picking up this stuff and you're not.
Yeah, I guess because I'm not. I'm just looking, like at the surface stuff. Like I tried to think
Right.
of me in a car, and
Right.
I haven't been in a car in years.
But that's fine. But now that would make sense why he would
You've
have me
been
go
in a
like this.
car.
No. Right? Don't talk about the car. But these are the things. And look, I like when Spirit has me say something to someone and they do not connect with it right away, because then it just even makes it better.
Right.
Right? It's like, oh my God, And again, this is, I don't like to say this because I believe this, I don't care what kind of faith you have, but I think that we all, need to believe in God. I don't know if I should say that or not, but, and I'm going to say this to you, even though it's against what I feel. You don't have to believe in God if you don't want to, but there's nothing that you can't deny right now that your Father is present. So, and I share that.
Every one of those. You wrote coins, wallet.
Here's the other thing. The reason why he doesn't believe in God. He's mad at religion.
Sure.
Fez, after his father passed away, Fez just came out of the closet. Mm-hmm. And that's been another disconnection. Would his father be happy with him now? Would he, not be happy with him?
What does
He's got
that
something
say?
written down.
It says proud.
Proud.
That's good to know.
Look, listen, I'm Catholic. Speaking to dead people is against my religion.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But look at me. Again, it's just something, I think it's the religion, and I don't know how to say this. It's almost like, who cares what faith you are,
Right.
as long as you believe in God.
Now, why do you think his dad is proud, though, of him? For coming out? Or
For the man that he's become.
Can you let that in, Fez? You let that in at all?
No, that's hard to let in.
Why?
You have to understand, because Spirit, they see things differently from the other side. And and why I allowed it to say is because he put glasses with roses on the lenses, which is my symbol for that Spirit looks at things differently from the other side.
Right.
And he honestly just looked at me and said, Teresa, he says, that's one thing about my son. He was always there for my wife
true.
and I. He says, no matter what time, he says everything was dropped and he was there. How could I not be proud of my son?
It's true, though. Your dad's right, Fez. You always were there for your dad. And mom.
And can you connect with the number 8? The month of August, the 8th of a month. Is he past 8 months?
8.
8. The 8th of a month, the month of August. Could be a birthday or an anniversary. Does your brother have children?
Yes.
Because I asked your father, I said, he needs to know if you're okay with what he came out with. He goes, I know, and I've always known that Fez has been the complete opposite of his brother.
It's true.
However whatever it's your brother's business, what he does, forget the fact that he's married.
That's opposite.
Yeah, but I'm saying forget that. Other things. You are completely opposite from your brother. Is that correct?
Oh, both of my brothers. I think
always have been.
opposite from.
Always will be. What's with the cook? Does your mom still baby you?
Yes.
I go like this, and I go, could you? He goes, listen. He goes, he's like this is my son baking the. Oh, Fez, you want cookies? Here's cookies. Let me
He
cook
did
for
that.
you. Oh,
He was like, now after Fez wasn't close with his mother until his dad died, and now he's become incredibly close with his mother. He was always like his dad's boy, but now he's his mom's boy.
Yeah, and my dad was the one that would bake cookies.
oh.
And send them to New York and have stuff ready whenever I visited Florida.
Like what?
Oh, and when
Cookies, any sort of cake.
I was in the other room, and I kept saying, "Who lives out of state? Who's out of state? Who's out of state?"
It's Fez, Florida.
And it was right at the end when I was getting ready to come into this room,
Yeah.
and I had no idea where I was going. I almost shit myself when I was outside. And they were like, "You're going in Ron and Fez," and I'm like, "Ron and Fez!" I'm like, "That famous? No way!"
See that? She almost shit herself, Fez.
I almost-
This is how
Thank you.
excited she was. I mean, can you imagine? Does any of this, do you feel
It would have
connected
smelled
with?
like roses, though. Just saying.
Yeah, because of the spiritual nature.
I feel very connected because that's so weird that I had just heard that poem story for the very first time.
Right.
I didn't know, and
I never heard it before.
My mother had to go to court because they caught the woman who stole her wallet and ran up charges and stuff, and they asked her if she wanted to say anything. And my mother, not much into public speaking at all, stood up and told the judge about this poem and how she's never going to have it to look at again.
Is this really easy for you to say?
No.
Okay.
No.
Seems like it's just for the first time ever. It seems like you're opening up to stuff.
Yeah,
you don't
I'm
normally
really
talk
choking
this
up.
way.
But you know what it is? I think that it's important that you realize, and I'm not here to make you believe anything. I mean, your father is doing, I'm not doing anything. But what upsets me for you is that you allowed someone to affect your connection and bond with your dad. And
Pendulette.
and I believe that was unfair.
Pendulette. Well, he actually didn't say it to Fez. It's just that when he was.
I'm not saying it's nothing against the gentleman. It's
Right.
Fez. I'm saying it too is that he allowed it. You look, we're responsible for our own, and I'm just saying, look, I'm just the vessel. Your father is the one telling me. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying the things that your father is acknowledging, so you understand that he is with you. And whatever you choose, look, you could still, if you don't want to believe in God, that's fine. But you need to know that you're fucked, because when that happened, you completely shut and pushed everything else away, which is wrong. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? You allowed that disconnection between you and your dad's soul.
Yeah, because I didn't think it existed.
Right.
What about now?
I'm thinking there's something here. That there's something
What's holding you back?
that
I couldn't Google that. I'm sorry.
just the emotion that it's bringing up in me now.
So you're trying to protect yourself from emotion.
Yeah, where I don't want to get to that point of just
So it's a safety
sobbing
thing.
to him every day because
It's a safety thing.
Yeah, because I know.
No, he doesn't
I
want
know
you
he
to
doesn't
stop.
want to see me crying.
Right. But you're crying really inside because you're
Right.
disconnecting yourself. So
You're still crying.
Exactly.
You're just crying on the inside.
So look, how about I leave you with these papers?
Thank you.
You can just doodles, and you can do whatever you wish with them. But just know that when I leave this room today, that your father is with you. That's it. That's all. Nothing else. No more, no less.
All right. The Long Island Medium Show is Sunday nights on TLC, and that's worked out well for you. You like being there?
Yeah. Love TLC. 9 o'clock.
Has it changed your life, though, moving over and doing this on TV as opposed to just doing this in Long Island on your own?
No, the only difference is that I always say is that I have instead of Spirit just following me around, now I have cameras, and I just don't get to do fun things with my friends anymore.
Right.
That's it.
Well, thank you so much for stopping by, Teresa. Fez, you've got the stuff. It's up to you now.
Yeah.
But, you know, she did give you a lot. She gave you a lot here today.
I want to thank you for having me. It was a true pleasure meeting
Tremendous.
you.
Nice meeting you, too.
Thank you.
Fez, you just had the experience, and you were holding on very, very tightly in front of Teresa. She gave you a lot, but you still stay with the Church of Penn Gillette.
Yeah. It's I mean, those were really remarkable things that made me think good things about my father, but I still don't believe that there's something that happens to us after we die.
Then why were you crying? Why weren't you just saying that to her? I don't understand that you were you had a foot in each camp there. I was trying to help Teresa push him into it because I thought it would be good radio, but I could not get him to take the full plunge. Record number of tweets going out to us, though, of people's comments on that. Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, this is Art from Pittsburgh.
Hey, Art.
Hey, Fezzy, please do not believe 1 ounce or one word that woman says. She is.
Well, Fez is, you know, like I said, he's got a foot in each bucket here.
He's
At the
giving
same,
you nothing but false hope, and I was chomping at the bit wanting to talk to her because Penn Jillette and James Randi would prove her wrong so quickly it would make her head spin.
well, I never, you know, being old carny, I'm never in the thing of blowing up somebody's spot. I got no problem with anybody who makes a living like this. Actually, if anything, I find it quite amusing. But I really did want to have Fez go in one direction or the other. He was completely believing while saying he didn't believe. And I was really trying to give him a slide down the hill and have him jump into it, because that's when it really gets to be fun. When you really start to agree with them is when they really let loose. Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
You used to work on 57th Street. On 57th Street, get the connection?
He's right about that. We did work on 57th Street. But Fez was not finding any of those connections. I was picking up on every single one of them. Because all you got to do is, when you're playing that kind of word association game, is to leap back into it. Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Ron, I don't know exactly what it is about those mediums, but, like, I cannot fucking listen to it. And I feel so bad for Fezzy having to sit there, and this lady is feeding him all this bullshit and her charlatan fucking tricks, doing these confidence man techniques that she thinks are working, and Fezzy has to just, you don't want to be rude, and like you said, you don't want to blow up her spot, but Jesus Christ, I get so angry.
Here's the thing about angry, and Fez sent this in on a homophobia thing today, that most people that are homophobia are afraid of homosexuality. And I think that a lot of people that get mad at mediums are totally worried that the mediums are correct. I see anybody, I don't care whether you're following the Catholic religion or the Jewish religion or the Muslim religion, when you suddenly act like, oh, the stuff on the outside, like the mediums or the Scientology or the Mormons, that those are crazy. To me, that's like when you see retarded people calling each other retarded. It's always like kind of funny. I don't understand the anger with it. The woman has a living. She walks around and tells people things that they want to hear. How is that different than fucking Madison Avenue? How is that different than if somebody thinks that if they fucking start drinking a beer, that they're going to be accepted by women? That if they fucking drive a certain kind of car, they're going to find happiness? It's the same shit. Everybody runs a grift. Everybody's a fucking grifter. Hi, on-screen calls today. It's the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Fezzy, what does ectoplasm taste like?
I'd say, now that just sounds like he blew a ghost, and I know for a fact that he didn't. I was sitting in here. The woman wrote down wallet before he told the story. And Fez looked at her like she just fucking was handing him an empty paper. She wrote down wallet. She brought up that the brother got the car and he was born in 1957. That the dad said, oh shit, let's not even go back to this story. She laid it all out on the table for him. All he had to do was bite on the hook. Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show. It's on screen caller day.
Hey, Fezzy, forget your dad. I mean, how did your fiance in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada handle you coming out as gay?
That was a lie that Fez told simply because he was in the closet.
I was ashamed.
Now there's some closet in the closet that he's in. And today I saw it for the first time ever, where he really just couldn't be himself with Teresa, where he was afraid to take that leap. And I'm wondering what happened. Fez, what's going on with line 7?
Not sure. So right now it's just out of order.
Can I tell you what my belief is?
What's that?
That's your dad. I'm always wondering now that on a day that your dad tried to get in touch with you and you still had the wall up, is this a day that you're going to regret? That you had that opportunity to say, here's what I want to know from my dad, and you didn't get the chance. Because that woman has 2 years before she even got on TV. A 2-year waiting list. Before she even got to television. What is going on that you wouldn't take the time to say, even I was trying to lead into, hey, he just came out. He wants to know how was that. There was no specific questions coming from Fez. Now, everyone, whether they believe, Leeds is a skeptic and was waiting outside just to ask questions. He has, somebody that he wanted to ask a simple question to. And here all this time, Fez didn't have a specific question for the medium, even if it was to prove her wrong. It was very, very odd to see in there. There's something being covered up, and I'd love to know what it is. Unscreened Caller Day, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Got a special request from someone in Florida. He says he's driving a dead man's car. Oh, that's good. Here's Shame by Shirley on WRSR.
I want you to feel it, too.
It's a show within a show. It's a show within a show. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Why didn't you ask a specific question, Fez? What held you back?
I think it may have been, whether I believed in it or not wanting to hear the answer. Where if he, wouldn't that have been great radio though? Even if it made you so uncomfortable, just to see what answer that this woman would have came up with. I mean, for you, that means that there's some kind of belief that you have. And here's the weird thing. Because who cares what that woman would have said to you? If anything, she was just trying to get over on the show. Uh-huh.
She's a vessel, as she puts it. But if you don't believe, you thought it was just a woman, and who would care? But the faith that you have and the wall that you have up between you and your faith, that's the thing that the shrink hasn't broke you of. What's keeping the illusion of safety, which just keeps you from being alive, is your biggest problem. And when people go, like to me, if I'm going to do something with a psychic, I'm going to play the fucking game. Much in the same way as if I'm going to go to a Polish restaurant, I'm going to have Polish food. I'm not going to ask for fucking, do you have a hamburger or something I could eat? Take the fucking ride. Spin the wheel, make the deal. Today you weren't spinning the wheel and you weren't making the deal, and you could have went two reasons. A, even tried to do it as an experiment and trick her up or whatever and throw some questions out there. You could have tried to believe in it. Or C, just had some fun and roll with it. I mean, I would have done my normal gimmick where I act like everything that they're saying happened to me. I've done that to psychics on the air before, but I didn't want to do that today because I know that this dad thing has been so important to you.
Yeah,
I just feel like it's a missed opportunity. And I was trying to get her to say bad stuff about Penn Jillette. Just like that was Penn Jillette that did that. Penn Jillette took that from him.
She was pretending not to know him at first.
Yeah, how do you not know who Penn Jillette is? The interesting thing about Fez today is that we were still pulling teeth with him. He didn't have any curiosity to test her or to test the fact of whether his dad was even paying attention. You were crying when that was happening, right? You really thought that his dad was here.
Yeah, it was a sad thing.
I didn't feel anything. I don't know whether that makes me a bad person or not. Maybe there's a wall of Quim around me. I don't know.
You just got to blast through that wall.
And I had this situation over vacation where I was out at one of the gay bars and someone finally did approach me and hit on me.
Really?
Yeah. And it was this guy who, mid-60s, I would
So
say.
younger than you. You got yourself a youngster.
Older than me. Mm-hmm. Older than me, and was, I don't want to throw this out, but kind of special needs, and was annoying everybody in the bar. And I'm like, and just stunk so bad. And I'm like, and I'm telling myself, I know this could happen if I wanted it to.
All right, so you finally got somebody attracted to you.
Right.
And it was an old, stinky retard.
Yes.
Why didn't you go for it, dude?
Well, you know what? I even thought about going for it, and I'm like, I don't want to be with this person.
Why didn't you get the old, stinky retard and break the seal?
I could have, and I kept thinking that, and I'm like, just do it.
Now, here's what I'm curious about.
I don't know where we would go, but just do it.
Do you think in other people's stories, you're the old, stinky retard?
That's another thing that I'm worried about. I go, this guy was just bothering everybody in the place.
So you were the last person he asked for sex with?
So he kept coming back to me.
Right. But he would try other people.
Yeah, he was bothering other people, yeah.
Well, you say bother. I don't know what that means in a gay bar. Like, want to fuck?
No, he just...
I'll blow you?
Hugging on people and just saying, you look, just these really simplistic, you look really nice compliments that he kept putting out. And I heard other people saying that finally it had enough, saying, just stay away from me.
Was it just verbal with you, or was there like touching or
cup your balls?
Dancing?
No, there was like hugging and putting his arm around me and some shoulder rubbing.
So you can't wait to run to the shrink tonight with this story, huh?
And I'm like, yeah.
So you were the belle of the ball. You were the belle of the special needs ball.
And I just went home going, I should have just been with this out-of-towner who I didn't even know.
Well,
but there was
why would a retard be from out of town? There's something about this story.
That was part of his story he was telling everybody.
Why didn't you bring this up with the Long Island medium?
I didn't think it required a medium's attention.
Anything to stop pulling fucking teeth in there would have been great. Anything to get her, her vessel opened. It's the Ron and Fez show. Fez Whatley has his first shot with an old stinky retard and took the collar. Went 0 for 4, but it was an opportunity, and an opportunity lost.
Yeah, the opportunity was definitely there.
He'll be back.
Sure. There'll be other stinky retards in your fucking future. Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, buddies.
Hey.
Hey, you know what the show's missing today?
What's that?
Some Pepper Hicks sound effects in the background. I was wondering if you'd let me just hang out and just do a little Pepper commentation as the show goes on.
No. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. I mean, if there's anything we've learned today, is the show's much fucking better without Chris Stanley in here. Much better without Fred, and much better without Zito. Fez has been all over the show today, grabbing rebounds, assists, scoring, not just from downtown. Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hi, Ron. Does your father wear shirts?
Yeah, he does. He wears shirts. He puts them on in the morning.
Does he have a car?
Yeah, my dad has 2 cars. He's got a truck and a car.
Look what I wrote. I couldn't know that. How can I know that?
There's no possible way for you to know that. That's fucking unbelievable. I will tell you this. My father has 2 things he does now. He watches baseball and Fox News. Oh, the hate that man has for the President of the United States. 866 Ron Zero Fez. 866 Ron Zero Fez. Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Ronnie. Just wondering if the medium mentioned the umbrella at all. Did that come up in the conversation?
No, I was waiting for that all to come down. And I think Fez was blocked somehow in front of the medium. I think that you were afraid of something, Fez. And I think that's what I want your thing to be with your shrink tonight. What kept you from diving into that? and making that and spinning gold there.
I will check with the shrink. I think it was just...
No, have you got a new shrink, or do you remember you were firing the other one for 2 years?
No, I haven't fired the other one yet.
How long you been looking to do that?
4 months now.
No fucking way is it 4 months. No way is it any less than a year. Insane to say it's any less than a year. I remember Chris Stanley screaming at you about this well over a year ago. And that is, of course, I'm talking about the late Chris Stanley. God knows we all love him. But he is late coming back from his vacation. And aren't you glad you came in today, Fez?
Yes.
Aren't you glad you didn't play best of?
Yep, I'm very glad.
I was really, and asked your shrink this, just be like, ask your shrink why you wanted to play a best of instead of coming in here and grabbing in the mic time that you've had today.
I will check into that. I was just worried about being shorthanded, I guess.
Good. It's good to be shorthanded.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fucking best thing that can happen to you. Because that's how you fucking get out of your rut. It's fucking good to have the odds against you. Let the odds stack up against us here. I fucking adore it. The last thing you want to do is get into a place of comfort because they never change fucking shit. Look, today, you're able to be blocked up with a psychic. You told us the old stinky retard story. You made a scathing attack on Greeks. This is all stuff we never would have fucking known before.
We wouldn't have had Linsanity without a few injuries.
Thank you very much. Today could have been, if you were in the right frame of mind, could have been Fez Sanity. I didn't know who he was. I know you guys are famous. Her and her fucking person, both from Long Island, loved us when we were on NEW. And I'm telling you now, there's nothing against satellite, but there's nothing like New York radio. It's the fucking craziest place ever to live. Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Hey, Fezzy.
Yes.
Did you, maybe you should have just punched that gay retarded old guy in the stomach, made him cry?
Fez has done that before in the past. He bullied as a young person. He punched a retarded girl in the stomach. Later, it was found out that girl could not have children because one of her ovaries was ruptured. But you said it felt good that the kids laughed and clapped.
Yeah, that at that point in that moment, it felt very good to be like cheered on by the crowd, by the neighborhood crowd.
So if we would have cheered you on to really jump into that bit today with the Long Island medium, would you have done it? If we were cheering, go Fez, go, or you can do it, Fez, or drop the wall.
That might have had a difference. I'm not sure.
How many paid cheers do I have to bring in here?
Oh, you don't have to bring in any paid cheers. I was just...
You said if it would have had a difference, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a difference that matters and a matter of difference. Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show.
Yeah, Fez, I'm seeing some names here. I just want to see if you can make a connection. Rory Hamptons, Mooch Cassidy, Glaubitz. Do any of these names connect with you?
Yes, I know each and every one of those people.
Do you have a car? Is there a car? Did anyone you know drive a car?
Don't pull his teeth. We've had enough of that today. The Long Island Lolita got two of his fucking back molars out. No one catches that I called her the Long Island Lolita. Hi, you're on the Ron and Fez show on Screen Caller Day.
Hey, bud. Hey, I was amazed with the psychic there. What was amazing was the wallet, the coins, the poem, and what really pushed me over the edge of believing, I never believed in that stuff, when she started communicating with Fezzy's cat. Cookie.
I was amazed that Fez wasn't amazed. I was amazed that he wasn't saying either of two things. I would have taken into, come on, that one doesn't have anything to do with the other, or the, oh my God. But Fez just, I mean, obviously he was crying, but he was crying when the person came in. But the fact that he wouldn't give it up to her, nor would he turn on her. And I think you got to talk to your shrink, Fezzy, about taking a left or a right.
Yeah.
Ask your shrink what happens when you come to the fork in the road and you don't take it? Because it seems to be, just from a radio aspect of a place that you're finding yourself. What time you meet in the shrink today?
4:30.
Would it be crazy for you to try to kill him with a pillow over his face and get your money back? I mean, would that come across as bonkers? A little nutty?
It would probably be something I could get away with because I could go up there and just say I discovered the body.
The word probably is what always concerns me. That's the fork in the road that you're not taking.